Hello! I am Mac, at least for a day, and everything's going to be okay. For this week's speculation topic, I would like to discuss, will we see No Man's Sky version 2.0 this year? Now there's a lot of factors to consider on this topic. First of all, how big would a 2.0 update have to be in order to be called 2.0? Some people have told me that a game can't do 2.0 unless it adds like a whole new storyline or some kind of huge expansion. Now I take that kind of statement with a grain of salt, because just last year when we got the little what is 1.5 clue from the Waking Titan ARG, a lot of people were saying, oh, no way, they can't skip straight from 1.3 to 1.5. That's unheard of. That's impossible. That's not allowed. But no, Hello Games still did that. They jumped from version 1.3 to 1.5 when they did the next update. So I think Hello Games can do whatever they want with their version numbers. I don't think there's any laws or Sony rules about what they set for their version numbers. So if they wanted to, they could just do an update about the same size as some of their other updates and call it 2.0. However, I don't think they would do that. I think they would make 2.0 something really big and special, even though they could do whatever they want with the version numbers. Now, as far as will we have version 2.0 this year, I don't know. Lord Markov, in his comment that I read in the last video, he said something in parentheses which I purposefully didn't mention. What he said was he thought that version 2.0 might be for when the PlayStation 5 comes out. It looks like I'm being joined by Martians. So Lord Markov thinks that might be a possibility. I think that would be okay if the PlayStation 5 comes out next year, 2020. I don't know if I don't think we've still had any word on when the PlayStation 5 is coming out. Like, the last word we heard was that it might come out 2020, but there's been no confirmation of that. So if the PlayStation 5 came out in 2020, it would be okay, because this year, 2019, we could have No Man's Sky version 1.8 and 1.9. That might be enough big update to satisfy people for this year. And then next year, if PlayStation 5 came out, we'd get a big 2.0 update that would upgrade the game for PlayStation 5 and add a bunch of new stuff. But if PS5 doesn't come out next year, if it doesn't come out till 2021 or something, we definitely don't want to have to wait that long for the 2.0 update. Hello Games has been updating the game to several different numbers each year, and we wouldn't like them to slow down that much. Hopefully my game won't crash. Sometimes multiplayer has made my game crash, but hopefully it won't this time. He's going to distract me. But anyway, hopefully 2.0 will come this year or within next year. So, now I've lost my train of thought because he distracted me. So the question is, how much are they going to update the game this year, 2019? So one thing to consider is we've got Vision's updates was 1.75. So Hello Games have just recently shown that they can have bigger updates without going to a totally new version number. Like, the Abyss went from the 1.6 to 1.7, but then Visions just did 1.75. And so they could do that this year to avoid having to go to 2.0. They might do 1.8 update. We're at 1.77 right now, so the next big-ish update is going to have to be 1.8 at least. But then, you know, they could do another big update, 1.85, and then 1.9 and 1.95. So we've got several big-ish updates that we could do without going to 2.0, and they could save it for next year. But I do think that if and when they upgrade the game for PlayStation 5, that will probably be 2.0. Another thing we want to talk about is what would have to be in a 2.0 to make it worthy of being a 2.0. Like I said, Hello Games can probably do whatever they want. They could make 2.0 as big as they like. But they probably would try to make it really impressive when they go to 2.0. So what would that entail? Now I'm thinking that it would include like the full version of multiplayer. Oh great, he's giving me stasis devices. Oh gosh, I had some lag there. I was afraid it's going to crash. The full version of multiplayer, because right now multiplayer is incomplete, because in Atlas Rises we got Orb multiplayer, and the Orb multiplayer had 16-person sized lobbies. There could be up to 16 orbs all together in a star system. But then when they added the character model multiplayer, there can only be 4 people. And in fact, when someone jumps into your game, it makes all of the other orbs disappear. So you can't have 4 character models and 12 orbs together. If there's any other player character models, there's only 4 people. I found this out when we did Spacing Guild events. I thought that we could have 16 people in a lobby still, but as soon as someone jumped in my game, all of the orbs disappeared. And that kind of messed up our Spacing Guild events. We couldn't have 16 people together unless nobody jumped into their game and we just had orbs. So right now you have to choose between orb multiplayer and have up to 16 people together, but they can't interact or fight the same enemies. They're just floating orbs that can't do anything to each other's game. Or you can have the character model multiplayer and only have 4 people that are able to give items to each other, destroy the terrain on each other's game, and fight enemies on each other's game. So 2.0, if they don't do it before 2.0, 2.0 should definitely include the full version of multiplayer, meaning that we could have up to 16 character models all in one game. Whoa. Oh, that's just a regular Sentinel. I thought it was a corrupt Sentinel for a second. That said, we've got a long way to go, because right now I've got 1 person in my game and I'm already concerned that my game is going to crash. I still have freezes and game crashes when I try to do multiplayer, and so they're going to have to optimize multiplayer a lot more, because 16 player models all in one game editing terrain and killing enemies is going to crash anybody's game, I would think, if mine's crashing just with 1 or 2 people in my game. So yeah, there'll have to be a lot more optimization, and PlayStation 5 might make that easier if it's not going to work with normal PlayStation. Who knows with PC, but I'm on PlayStation, and if my game's crashing with just a few character models, then it might take a more powerful PlayStation to be able to do 16 players altogether. Obviously, there's other multiplayer games. There's MMOs that work on PlayStation, but of course, No Man's Sky is a custom game engine, and it's got all its own problems that Hello Games have got to work out. So we'll see what they're capable of. So other than that, other than multiplayer, I would hope, and this is of course my personal hope, that 2.0 would include a full new story for the game, or a continuation of the Atlas Rises storyline. And that's what people said, that 2.0 would have to include a whole new storyline, a whole new expansion for the game. I think that was mainly what I want, and obviously 2.0 would probably include a whole bunch more variation and just, you know, improvements to everything all around. But the two biggest things I would expect from 2.0 is the full multiplayer, 16 characters in a lobby, and some kind of big new storyline like Atlas Rises. But what do you all think? I want you to comment and answer a couple questions. Do you think 2.0 will happen this year, 2019? Or is it going to wait until next year, if and when PlayStation 5 comes out? And how big and what do you think a 2.0 update would include? What would Hello Games have to do to make an update worthy of 2.0? So that's about it. Kind of a shorter one this week, but do you think we'll see 2.0 this year, and what will the 2.0 update include? So that's about it. I've been Mac, and I was joined by Martians. Thank you for joining me for a day. And remember, everything is going to be okay.